Hey guys, this is Paul Lozick. Today is April the 26th, and I've got a couple of updates I'd like to bring to you guys. The first one's going to be about water. Um, we've been out of Venezuela now for 4 years, and we keep thinking, well, this is a long distance and it's far away. We can't really touch those people anymore. But amazingly enough, um, we are busier now with Venezuela than we've ever been through WhatsApp and through different types of communication. And the people we've been training, they've really taken hold in Venezuela of this ministry, and they are working all over the place. They're doing things with gardening, with cattle, with beekeeping that I kind of thought like I had to be there to be in charge of everything, but God has been teaching me that He's able to run this ministry in Venezuela without us being there, and we've become more of a bridge of helping them with ideas and funding and support and other things. So we want to share a little bit with you about what's going on with the water because the water is a really big deal. I'm going to share my screen here with you, if I may. And it's pretty amazing what all God is doing right now with water in Venezuela. Um, let's see. And not just in Venezuela, but in Peru now also. So we're going to talk about that a little bit. If I can get rid of this thing. Okay, so you're looking at a map of the north central part of Venezuela. Over on the left, you see Valencia. This is where the camp's located over here, Campo Carabobo. About an hour and a half away is a little village called Cua. Doesn't show up on the map, but it's right here where the arrow is. And that's one of three locations where pastors have talked to us about communities of people. First of all, they are not believers, but they are extremely poor, and their biggest struggle is with water. Literally, they have no water. And so Hosan has been driving over. This is going to be about one of those communities. Again, Cua, C-U-A. You can look it up on Google. This is a extremely poor neighborhood. They really have not much of anything, including electricity, definitely no running water. And so Hosan had got there and he's visited about, for the last month and a half on weekends and found that they were living basically off of water collected in throwaway bottles, collecting water from rain and from other sources. And they fill these bottles up, and this is what they use to bathe with, to cook with, and to drink. And so the idea was to begin to teach them how to drill a well. There is water underground, but they have no equipment and no training. So Hosan had began over the last couple of weeks to come over and teach them what was going to be necessary to get them a well. And so here he is talking to the group and explaining to them about the equipment and trying to organize them because we don't want to drill the wells for them. We want them to drill the wells. So there's some teaching involved and some organizing. So this particular meeting place is up on the top of a roof here. You can see that they raise chickens up there also in their home. Pretty convenient. Some of us may want to try that soon here. So here he is talking to some of the community leaders and showing them how they're going to get started. This is how they use
Los
this highly
electrodos.
sophisticated technique
Ahí
using
se cruzó
electrodes to
también.
find a space or a place where they're going to drill. Many of you are familiar with this.
No lo apriete, no lo aprietes.
Don't squeeze the electrodes. Let them flow.
Ahí está cruzado los dos electrodos. Probablemente este sea el punto donde haya.
So this is probably the place where the water is. So here they are. They're starting to drill this thing by hand. The community effort, right?
No, sí, yo creo que por lo menos
Junta la cesta, acá con el alambre, David.
Cuidado con los alambres, las
La ropa,
manos.
acá con los lentes. Ricky.
Ay.
Vamos, Antonella.
And everybody partakes and everybody gets involved.
Una vista
La
exacta.
otra vez estaban unos muchachos, pero le estaban dando rapidísimo, ¿no?
Arriba, arriba, arriba. Ustedes pueden, ustedes pueden.
Una vista satelital.
Cuidado, cuidado, cuidado.
No veo eso ni por linterna.
Cuidado
Cuidado,
atrás.
cuidado.
Ajá.
Estos muchachos sí son rápidos.
Mira, mira.
Here you see Jose Angel. He's the instructor. He's really good at this. And he has just tremendous patience
Brisa del Paraíso, Cuba, Estados Unidos,
to work with
Venezuela.
people. And he has a tremendous love. And he gets a chance to share Christ with these people. And so finally, at about 28 feet, they found water. And so next weekend, Jose Angel will be going back and helping them to put together the tubing and all the final parts. It will be a well that will use a small pump to pump the water out. So they should have this thing up and running within about 2 weeks. So that was excellent. They learned how to do it, and they did it. This is another part of the ministry. Jose Angel is the only certified person that we know of in Venezuela, certified by CAWST. This is a water ministry out of Spain and Canada, and they taught him over the last few years. We sent him to Peru. He learned also in Canada how to build these sophisticated water filters called biosand water filters, and they're very good, but they're very heavy, and you have to know what you're doing. So here we are getting ready to load one into a vehicle for a pastor who's working with a school, and I'm going to show you this. This is Jose Angel helping to install the biosand water filter at the school. And this next video is a little bit long, a couple of minutes, but it's hard to believe what they have to do to get water. Remember, this is at a school.
Ah, pero será que están directos, hay que ver dónde están los interruptores para apagar.
The water filter back there. This is what they have been drinking. It's out of a river or a stream. And you see how they store water. And this is the result here. You got a professor. He's dipping water that comes out of the river into the filter. And you have this, his turn now to drink water. And these professors are so grateful, and they give us the chance to come and share Jesus out of the Bible. So here's the next thing that's going on. Texas Baptist Men are now called Texans on Mission. They're out of Dallas. They are a rescue team. They have multiple ministries to help with different types of disasters, but they also have an enormous water ministry. So in November, I guess last year, they invited me to go to Peru, and I kind of got to see what it is they're doing there. And then again in January, they invited me to go to Peru, and we got to see again more details about what they're doing there. And during that visit, we identified in the state of Cajamarca, this is a state, kind of like Texas, if you will, a bunch of counties, 5 of them. These are all located at 9,000 to 13,000 feet up in the Andes, where there were communities of people who literally, during 6 or 8 months out of the year, have no water in the dry season and are walking sometimes 2 to 4 hours every day to carry containers on their shoulders or by donkey to go get water just to be able to stay alive. And so the idea is we are going to begin to drill water wells for them. So this May the 4th, I'm leaving back to Peru with these guys from the Texan Zone Mission, and we will drill the first water well starting on May the 12th. Should be finished by the 30th. And the plan is to do at least 5 more wells this year, and they want to drill about 200 wells. And what this does is each well leads to a Bible study group, and each Bible study group leads to a church plant. So this is the area called Capulipampa, where we are going to do the first well. These people are up at about 10 or 11,000 feet, and this is water that they have saved from rain, basically in this hole. This is what they bathe with, this is what they drink with, this is what they use for all purposes. Texan Zone Mission are going to drill a well for them, and it will have either electricity or solar power. Not sure how it's going to be run, but this one should be finished by May the 30th, and we'll keep you updated on that. This is the group that we met with in January. They're the community leaders. There's about 80 families that live within, let's just say 40 minutes walk of this location. And then last thing I wanted to ask you guys to pray about is in June, they've asked me to travel with them to Uganda, to this city called Gulu, because they have been established there doing these water projects now for years. So they want us to learn and see how these things flow. How does it work? So we can then begin to apply these same systems in Peru. So be in prayer for that. And lastly, in July, on the 25th of July, Delia and I will go together over to Peru to work on the next projects, because there are other parts of this, like hygiene and other parts of the project that are important besides just the drilling of water wells. So I'm going to stop the share. Going to ask you guys to be in prayer for all of this because it's new. God's opening new doors for us. We're still healthy. I don't know if you know this. We've moved to Alice, Texas. Our address is 1720 Gunn, Gunn Street, Alice, Texas, 78332. Call us. We'd love to have you come visit. And that's it for now.